Airline cancels your flight, full refund. Airline delays your flight, full refund. Extra services you paid for are not available on your flight, full refund. A lot happened while I was away last week, so let's get caught up on some big news and the details about the news you may have missed. So last week, the Department of Transportation finalized a rule I told you was coming in a video 2 years ago. The DOT says travelers should not have to fight to get their money back when the airline screws up. There should be no hassle and there should be no haggling needed. And according to this new rule, your refund should also come automatically, but there are some important details you need to know and some limitations on this. First and foremost, this is not happening immediately. These rules will take effect in late October, but once they do, here's what you need to know. The rules will apply to all U.S. airlines and any foreign air carriers that operate within the United States. And before I tell you about who is qualified for a full refund, you have to know you are not entitled to a full refund if you accept alternate transportation from the airline or you accept travel credits instead. Okay, so now who gets this full refund? If the airline cancels or significantly changes your flight, you will get your money back, including on a non-refundable flight. A significant change is defined as 1, a delay to your flight of more than 3 hours domestically or 6 hours internationally. 2, your departure or arrival is changed to a different airport. 3, the airline added connecting flights to your trip. 4, if you are downgraded to a lower class or service, or 5, if your connection at a different airport or flight on a different plane is less accessible or accommodating to a person with a disability. Now, if the airline loses your baggage and delays the return of it back to you, you also will get a refund. So after you have filed a mishandled baggage report, the new rule says you will be entitled to a full refund of your checked baggage fee. If your bag is not delivered to you within 12 hours of your arrival of a domestic flight or between 15 to 30 hours of your international flight, depending on the length of your flight. Passengers will be entitled to a refund for the extra fees you paid for an extra service that the airline didn't give you while you were on board, like onboard Wi-Fi, seat selection, or in-flight entertainment. So how do you get your refund? Generally, this new rule requires the airline to refund you automatically. You will see that money back on your credit card within 7 business days or 20 calendar days for other payment methods. That money must be refunded to you in cash or whatever your original form of payment was. So if you paid using miles, you may get your money back in miles. But an airline may not substitute your refund with a voucher or a travel credit or any other type of compensation unless you specifically accept that alternative compensation. The airline must also provide a full refund of the ticket purchase, including taxes, airport fees, or airline and post fees, minus the value of any portion of the trip you already used. So for example, if you arrive at your connection and the airline cancels the second leg of your trip, you will only be refunded for that second leg, not for the full trip. Lastly, this new rule requires airlines to provide you with a travel credit or a voucher that will be good for 5 years if you are restricted by a government or advised by a medical professional against traveling to, from, or within the United States because of a serious communicable disease. Of course, you may have to provide the airline with proof of that to be eligible. Now, that's a lot of information, I know, but if you want to read all these rules directly from the Transportation Department, I will email the document out to you tonight in my Newsgirl News Roundup email, so make sure you sign yourself up.